Hello there, welcome to a brand new day. It's Omaliving show. I promised you a series of entrepreneurship based topics. That is because entrepreneurship is the order of the day right now in Nigeria. The available white collar jobs are not enough, and this has driven a lot of people to search for their natural passion, to search for their purpose, to discover themselves, and to be of good use to the society. Today's topic is startups. Why do they fail? Daily, weekly, monthly, new businesses spring up. But statistics have said that more than 50% of these businesses do not survive beyond the 16th month. What could be the problem? Why does this happen? I'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. So we're still on the topic, why do startups fail? Many businesses don't go beyond the 16th month and they pack up. What are the reasons for this? I have to start by getting to the root of the reason why you chose entrepreneurship and the reason why you chose that particular field. Just maybe some of the answers will lie in the reasons and the answers you give to me. But okay, let's go on to the reasons why startups fail. The aim of every businessman or woman, boy or girl, youth, anybody who intends to start a business today is to make money. So when you enter into business and months after, a year after, business is not working, money is not coming in, all you do is spend, all you do is invest, and you don't get money back, what happens? You will pack up. I'm an entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur for 4 good years. Those 4 years have not been funny. So many times I just feel like, oh my God, it's a very big mistake for me to have left my employers and I can start my own thing. I am brilliant, I am talented, I am this, I am that. But darling, starting a business goes beyond your talent. It goes beyond hard work. It goes beyond brilliance. There is a lot involved. Why do startups fail? Daily I go through my Facebook, I see motivational speakers telling you lies. They give you the impression that all you need to start your business is just start anyway, just be your own boss. There is a lot involved. Being your own boss is not the main thing. You need to be prepared so that the economy will benefit from you as much as you make your own money and you are happy at the end of the day. Why do startups fail? Number one is lack of adequate knowledge. Oh yes, you heard me. Many of us just wake up one day, okay, I can do this, I can actually sew. Now I tell you something, being able to make dresses doesn't mean you should open up a fashion design outlet. There is more. Do you know about the business angle of being a fashion designer? Do you know the business angle of being a baker? You don't just wake up and start a business just because you have someone who's ready to dole out the money. So I would like to go further into this topic, but I will introduce a guest, someone who is grounded, someone who has been an entrepreneur for close to 10 years. She is going to tell us everything and some of the reasons why startups fail. I'll be with you right after the break. Wow, so we have on the show today the delectable, multi-talented, extremely hardworking Jenny Chisom. Jenny Chisom is a woman of substance, actually one of the very few people that I've been longing to meet. We've had several chances or opportunities to meet, but somehow something just keeps. So I'm more than elated to have you on Omaliving show today.
Same here, Oma. Good to see you finally.
Wow. How has it been?
Very well, good.
Jenny Chisom is the CEO of Logos Audibles, a very big company that has a lot of subsidiaries. She is a social entrepreneur. She is a blogger. She is into male or men empowerment projects that is all geared towards instilling confidence in our men and making them be the men that they ought to be. So I have on the show we have today, and we're going to be talking about the topic, why startups fail. But before then, let's get to know you, Chisum.
Thank you, Oma.
So
thank you.
Jenny Chisom, beyond what I've already said.
Okay, well, I like the question. Jenny Chisom is a shy girl.
Shy? Wow.
I know you're going to say that. So I'm just a non-regular girl who loves the arts. I love creativity. I mean, I've not been able to hold down any job more than 3 years because if you get into routine, I just wake up and I leave. And I'm that restless that I don't even give that 1 month. I just say keep the salary. I'm done. You know, so I'm very spontaneous. I am one of the few people that I think God made to help the world to help the world with colors and ideas.
Wow.
Because I think that human solutions lie in ideas that we can execute.
Yeah,
you know, to bring solutions to
problems
humanity.
and issues.
Yeah. So that's me, you know, the real me. And I run Logos Audibles, which is a company I started 8 years ago. I was still in paid employment though. So I would say I don't know what you call an entrepreneur who's been working and doing business. You know, I did that for 6 years. Yeah, together, and 2 years in 2015 was when I started full entrepreneurship.
Okay, on your own,
on my own. Finally, now saying, oh yes, I'm not expecting any alert from anywhere.
Anybody.
Exactly. So 2015.
Wow.
Some people think I've started like forever.
Yeah, I actually think so.
Exactly. So I have always done that, you know, while working. You know, did a lot of because my company is focused on publishing. So we help people write their books, people who are busy.
Okay.
So we have them write books. We also have the arm of our blog, which started off as a PR front. Okay. You know, which we also started. In fact, my business started on the wings of my blog. Okay. You know, we started getting clients, you know, and calls from everywhere in the world, and we're like, wow, really, this blog thing works.
Wow.
You know, so so we've done books for a lot of CEOs, you know, busy professionals. While I was working, many people didn't know. You know, which is why I like the topic, because how did I juggle that? You know, how was I able to work with people and we still delivered results, and I was still working full time somewhere, you know? So so Logos Audibles is focused on that. So we help people get the book out of their head, you know, because everybody has a story to tell.
Yes.
You know, so on the blog front, which is Jenny Chisom blog, where I also started it just when I started my business, so it's as old as the company itself. That's also why it's 8 years. So it's focused on development, in general, people who are doing stuff and trends around Africa, which are supposed to inspire people to attain greatness. You know, I have this thing where people say, "Oh, Jenny, you're doing so well. You're a superman. You're a superwoman. You're doing." Like you just said, I'm very hardworking. Yeah. You know, but how will you know that I wake up sometimes and I'm really depressed? But thank God that you said it. You know that you too used to wake up some days and cry.
Yes, yes.
You know, so I address myself as hardworking. Maybe not really, but I know that in my head, yes, my head is always working.
Okay. Yeah, that's also. I said something on my Facebook, I think yesterday. I said sometimes when you talk about hard work, people are quick to tell you it's smart work, but smart. Mental work is even a lot harder than the physical work. So whether it's your head or you're carrying bricks in some sites, we're all working hard.
Yeah. So those are the dimensions. Then sometime last year I started out following a social enterprise, something that's been my passion for years that I didn't even know how to birth it per se. You know, so I started in October, you know, focusing on men development because I see it's an area of need that nobody wants to touch. Yes. It's almost like no, it's not. It doesn't even exist. Men are already empowered. Yes. You know, they were just birthed, and immediately they gave birth to them, they became empowered. You know, and then I have always been. I'm this guy's girl. Okay. I have most friends who are guys. Most of my friends are, most of my confidants are guys.
Okay.
From secondary school. I mean, even though I went to secondary school that was all girls, I was always a ringleader. You know, I was always the one that, you know, that would say, hey, you know, this is what we should do, you know, let's form cliques. Even though it was very quiet, I would like some people used to call me slow poison, you know, that kind of thing. So out of school, I discovered that I'm not the girly person. I'm not interested in, oh, girl talk so much of, you know, I want to be
a different level in terms of capacity.
Exactly. When I was in secondary school, my friends used to say, you're a grandmother, you're not gonna, I don't even know why you're here. You know, I didn't put all that together early enough, you know. So it made me, even when I was 9, I remember when I was 9, I used to look at one of my uncles and say, I would just wonder, why does he behave the way he does? I used to ask my dad a lot of questions. Why do men act the way they do? You know, so I was my own Tilahaya. I didn't even know about temperament and stuff, but I used to just focus on men. Because something always told me that
something in
men
you was
at the center.
You were inquisitive about something.
Exactly.
Like a puzzle.
I was always asking questions. I was always getting information. I was always the one coming to tell you, man, you know that they say when whatever has happened, though, you might not be just before you hear it, I'll be the one to bring it to you. You know, I was just that curious, you know. So, well, all of that, then during the days of BlackBerry, you know, Messenger, we all were back on BlackBerry, and then I had a group of men, Jenny hanging out with guys. I just added guys that were my friends. A few people advertised it, they joined. We are about 49 guys. What did they do? I just facilitate. Okay, if you have an issue, bring it up. Oh, you're toasting one babe. She acted like this. What do you think? The other flow guys will tell you do this or do that. Then me, I'll just like say, just like bringing them together and try to. I wanted to just understand how men think. You know, all of that, you know, came to the fore when I had to do a self-discovery course. You know, and it came up that on the first 3 people that sector that I'm passionate about are men. Then the next are young people. Then the next are family, the family system. And I just thought, okay, so why can't I do this? I might not be able to really like go all out or have all the money to pay. But I can begin to use my blog. Exactly. I can begin to use my blog to begin to write and educate men and begin to show them hope. My idea is to be able to profile hope for men so that they can stop self-damaging themselves. Because sometimes it's not their fault. Some men who are dysfunctional, it's the way they are raised and the things they were told. Society is not really friendly. It's not friendly for both men and women, I mean, you know, to be fair. But a woman will always depend on a man, no matter what. So a man has more work to do, to stand up to be that man he's supposed to be. And he has to do it from a place of self-confidence. You know, and how does he do that in this age when more women have better jobs? More women are becoming empowered. It's not like the way we saw our grandparents.
How does he still maintain self-confidence?
Sanity even.
Self-esteem.
How can he stop relying on drugs and alcohol to validate his manhood? How does he not abuse women to show his masculinity?
True.
You know, so I was like, okay, so let me just start
more like you're helping the men get back their confidence.
Exactly.
Through mental empowerment.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Wow. This is, apart from being a lot, because most people do a lot.
Yeah.
But there is something so interesting about the course. It is unique.
Yeah, it is.
Like you said, men have been, you know, men don't have problems. I remember as a kid growing up, my dad, till today, he wants to always give the impression that all is well with him.
Yeah.
I think I took that part when he said, you don't behave like other girls. I'm like that too, but I'm girly. But then, when it comes to the things that trigger or fascinate ladies, they don't fascinate me. Yeah. So, talking about my dad and the male thing, dad doesn't fall sick. He doesn't have to fall sick. He's a man.
He's a man, exactly.
Dad doesn't have to cry. How?
So male is equal to supernatural.
Thank you. One day I went to him. I won't forget. And that incident drove me to a phase of temporary sadness. I couldn't understand it. That was the first time it happened. I went to him, Daddy, I want to make my hair. Actually, I'm able. So it was like, for the first time in my life, where am I go? Like, I don't have money.
Yeah.
Why would Daddy not have money? Like,
exactly.
all hope is lost. If Daddy does not have money, that means we are done for. Do you understand?
Exactly.
It continued like that. It's now as an adult, I discovered that when my dad has issues, it's just because of the energy level that we transmit and the intuition. He will never tell anyone.
Yeah.
And that is the situation most men find themselves in.
True.
So that's to support you, because that what you're doing is very well needed. I said some time ago on Facebook that we're all going on about women empowerment, women, ladies, blah blah. It's a good thing, but if we keep forgetting that the men also need to be on top of their games, the women will never be comfortable.
True, very true. The violence will increase if we keep if we don't get the men ready that things have switched. Also empower them to handle empowered women. Because men are used to having women who are, as it were, below them.
Thank you.
So they are in charge, money-wise, everything. So they saw it as a way to be in charge.
Yes.
And even though we did it, we went about raising the boy child in a very funny way. You know, they also saw being in charge or being the head to also mean as a man, you're in charge of every woman you meet. They forget that it's a marriage.
That sense of entitlement.
That's, you know, the boy is the king. He's worse in Igbo land. I mean, I'm Igbo too.
True.
You know, a boy just, anything he does is fine. He might be scolded, but he's not scolded like you, that is a girl.
True.
You know.
True.
And then you wonder when he now leaves the house or maybe go for youth service, he starts struggling with things like, oh, how do I eat? So he starts depending on the woman all the rest of his life because he doesn't have basic skills.
True.
Cooking is even a life skill.
True.
You need it in the desert. You need it anywhere. Then you don't acquire that because you were raised to think it's a man's world. Yes.
You get anything
you need to be served.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot of conversation,
but
it comes back to value system and orientation. So that's where we focus on, you know. And interestingly, God has made it in a way that I have a group of men who are really, you know, in support of this mission. And you know, with them I can enter anywhere now. Like you know, we've hosted 3 men offline men events.
Wow.
When people, the men that showed up, so they were married for like 13 years. I'm like,
wow.
When these guys saw the advert, what were they thinking? They thought it was like, it's not a marriage committee, you know, that kind of thing. But it's so enlightening.
That they need.
It's amazing
too.
It's amazing. So for them will open up because the meetings we have are like a no-judgmental environment where
people
men
can open up.
You know, so their fellow men say, this is how I dealt with it. When I didn't have money, sometimes I can't even handle any other part of the home front. I just feel impotent, useless. So how did you handle it? My dear, your worth is not in the money. It's always how it happens to every human being. So it must bounce back. Exactly, it could be a phase, and you can come back, and you must also know that you're human to be able to open up to your partner. That is just for a phase. So she also understands and doesn't think you're hiding something because you now become brutal and begin to say, you know, just because you don't have money.
Wow.
So they talk to themselves and I'm there like, wow, so I convey this meeting.
Yeah.
You know, so the need is amazing.
That means you're preferring solution to a nagging issue, and that makes you a social entrepreneur apart from the media angle of your calling. Now, Chisom, would like to know 5 things that mean the most. You've mentioned 3 during the course of answering the first question, but I want you to name them again.
Name them. Okay. The thing that mean most to me, I would say my family.
Okay.
My family, because most of the things I do is because my dad is 74. My dad will still call me now, and you know, God bless God, like I was saying. He had a stroke recently and nearly died. I nearly died myself thinking.
Are you the first?
Yes.
Oh wow.
You know. So
the
my
bond
dad
between the first daughter and the dad,
I'll tell you, he will call me sometimes and say, oh, there's this thing, I'm thinking at this area of training, because my dad was a marketing consultant for years.
Oh, okay.
He didn't do like civil service and all this with my mom.
Okay.
So he's spontaneous like me. I got it from him. He's a consultant par excellence. He's there. You know, he will come here and say, oh, there's this idea I keep in my mind. Why don't we do this? I host events in Abuja. My father said, I'm going to come. My father is in Aba. He will say, just put my I'm going to come. You know, that's kind of your father had. So my family is like #1. Like, you know, I know that we had our own issues when I wanted to venture into entrepreneurship. In fact, the reason why I stayed 6 extra years still working and doing this. They keep saying, no, hold on a job, you know, and all that. You know, then number 2 is the family system, you know, generally is something I can't even play with because I know how that, you know, empowers any child. You know, so that
and how it helps to keep the society sane.
I mean, that is the first cell of society that if we're going to fix Nigeria, we're going to fix families
from the home.
You know, so and for me, the head of the homes are the major. So that brings me back to men.
Yeah.
You know,
you can't contest it.
Exactly.
You can't start to contest
so
it.
It's just like this morning, a guy put up on Facebook and said something like, these ladies that just go partying, smoking, the guys like you because they can use you anyhow. You should better have sense. You know, we're just trying to talk about which was a good lesson. Everybody was saying, tell them, rubbish girl, blah 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 blah. I just went and said, well, okay. Now the end of that post read something like, I will use you and do anything, and when I want to marry, I'll go for the good girls.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I don't know who schooled the girl who will eventually take you.
Exactly, because
after you're done with this time.
Yeah.
And then the guy just came back and said, Jenny, so I just mentioned my name. I said, why did you mention my name? He just blew me a kiss. He didn't think about it that way. When you're bashing a girl, think of yourself. I was on the radio station, they were saying, oh, you're doing empowerment, you're doing good, you're a role model to girls, you know, give an advice to all these girls on the street. And I'm like, girls on the street are just providing service. I talk to
because
the
there are
guys
who
who
patronize them.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I am focused on the guys who wake up.
That's solving the problem from the root.
A woman is created to give a solution, to amplify anything you give her.
True.
My listen is a man drives through a street, picks a stranger. How does that? Are you supposed to be the head of a home?
Because if these ladies go out every night
and nobody picks them,
yes, they'll stop. That's
nobody, they won't even come out, because for them to come out, somebody have told them it's paying. Go and stand too.
Exactly.
So it comes back to the men. So for me, family, the home system, men, young people, and of course, the belief in yourself. You can't even do without it.
Self-confidence. Somebody
was asking me yesterday that, oh, what are your most effective habits? I said, the belief in myself. I listen to the ideas in my head, and I believe I can do it. In fact, I begin to tell myself, for it to have come into this head,
it's doable.
It doesn't matter if I can carry it out.
Yeah.
What it means is that I must make sure it happens.
Yes.
Because it's a solution for someone. There's a reason why it didn't come into Oma's head.
Yes.
It didn't come into my neighbor's head.
Yes.
So for me, those are my top
Wow, enormous. So we're going straight to the topic for today's episode, which is a question: why do startup fail?
Interestingly, there are several factors I see. You know, doing entrepreneurship for all these years, there are several factors I see. I mean, I've gone to business school. I've gone to Lagos Business School. I've done, you know, I am a constant learner. I go to every seminar that makes sense. Okay. And I have most of my friends are CEOs.
Wow.
So I know exactly. Do you know? I see all those things where people start off. Oh, it's really big. We even go for a lunch, do a cocktail. Oh, nice place.
Everyone is happy.
Then in a year, you're like, the babe just said, Jenny, this is not working. I don't know how you get that. You know, I think that number one, what I see is this. Okay, let me start from. I think that what I see is, first, people are not schooled. You know, people don't understand what business entails. Now, I have a friend. She's a governor's daughter. She starts all her businesses in a big way. If she want to take over, if she want to do a business, she will buy over this whole house. You know, equip it. You know, so she spent like 30 million has gone into just the house, the decor, and everything.
Everything.
Before she thinks of the goods she's going to bring in. Then the next thing is the staff. She hasn't thought, which staff do I need? But she just feels, you know, this business is done in the place that you have to get enough face, then equip it.
No plan. She just jumps to.
Because there's money.
Yeah.
There's money, so we believe, oh, if you want to do business, just look for money, then start the business. No. So many people don't. Business is one interesting factor in human relations that I've seen that humbles you to start small. I've seen people start with millions and come back to square zero, where they said, okay, if I want to continue, let me just leave this, leave that, start again, like here and there, and grow it. Business will always bring you to that discipline. So it's not one of those things, because any business that also doesn't fund itself will never grow.
Yeah, true.
You know, I've also seen people who start businesses and then because they have external money, they keep putting it in, so it looks like the charade, like it's working,
but nothing is working.
You know, so that there is no basic knowledge about businesses. You know, and you know, it also comes back to the reason why we hardly see even businesses that outlast their owners, you know, which is for me is the touch point. I really don't know why I should start my business and then I can't pass it to my daughter, my son, you know, and they can't, you know, pass it on. For me, I mean, I'm harassing everyone in my family. We will start a family business. It's different from what we all do, because it's also a trend we don't really know, you know. But I'm going into different things. But first is the knowledge. Understand what business is.
Basic knowledge of what you're going into.
Exactly, and you know, understanding it means start from day one. Decide on a business model. I know that we are big on business plan, blah blah blah, that we never go back to.
Lots of.
Look at your business.
It's more like a manifesto that a politician presents and he
never goes back to it. Look at your business model. Before you think of that business plan, think of a business. What is a business model? For instance, I want to run a fashion. Okay, I'm passionate about fashion. My dear, that's still broad. Fashion is a lot. It can be shoes, can be accessories. Which aspect of fashion do you want to go into? Then which aspect of the value chain do you want to play? Now, you want to do fashion, do you want to do production of fabric, sewing, marketing, selling? That's a lot of value chain. Can you handle it? You know, can you handle those who handle your machines, who make sure things are working? Can you handle the staff? Can you handle the quality of fabric? Do you have all of that to start as a small business? Okay, now even if you say it's fashion or not, can you begin to say, okay, can I start from selling first, sell what somebody else is making, but in my own taste? Then when you grow that and it's really prospering, you can now venture into maybe manufacturing or production. You know, choose an aspect first, then grow it.
Concentrate on,
yeah, grow it. So I think business model is one. Of course, lack of knowledge and business model is one. Another thing I really see is in Nigeria, we are so behind on this. Systems and structures is another thing we think is for business.
We don't take it seriously.
Yeah. We don't. And that is the reason why we have businesses that don't
you see a business that's like 2 years old, no structure.
No structure. You know, the madam still calls the shots. She still sits behind the desk and shouts.
And when she's not around, when she's
not around, if there's no NEPA light even,
sure,
they'll tell you, you know, there's no. It's when the madam comes, we put it on. Sure. So your customer doesn't matter. It's your madam.
Sure.
You know, a lot of things. I've seen. I mean, I have my your brothers who they do businesses. They don't even know how to automate things.
Sure.
Some of their children, because they've gone to school, think, no, my dad's business is a cake.
Yeah.
They don't know how to come back and use the skill they've learned to improve it.
Enhance it.
Enhance it. You know, so we don't have systems. System is not so much about structure, because they're two different things. System is about, this is the way we do this. For instance, I also
like
have
a method.
In a way that even if a stranger comes, the stranger can run the business. And
clearly
stated. And, if you, at the point where you get to, okay, let's say that we're selling this cup. We are selling Oma cup. You know, so we have a showroom, people walk in and buy, either as a dozen or a single. What are the things, how do we address, now what happened between the part where the person encountered our marketing, whether online or offline, to the point the person purchases? Who is responsible for what? At the point the person walks in through the door, who receives the person? Who explains the types of cups?
We have.
And how do we deal with the invoicing? How do we deal with the receipts? At what point do we issue the receipt? At what point, you know, do we collect? Do we have a policy of collecting all the money?
Yeah.
Do we allow people pay halfway and then pay up? All of that has to be documented. You know, who takes the money to the bank afterwards? Who accounts for it? You know, all of that.
So most businesses in Nigeria, most startups, they lack system, structure.
Then structure. Who does what?
Without basic knowledge.
Who reports to who? We don't.
Nothing.
It doesn't matter whether you're just two, whether you're just three. All the functions you do, still have the hierarchy and document the things you do, so that the day you expand and say, okay, so somebody else can now take over this bit I do. You can tell the person, so this is the book, so these are the record of things I've done while handling this. That's what. If
I have to clap for you. You're really doing justice to this, because this is a major challenge.
Very.
For a lot of startups, a lot, even older companies.
Yeah,
you walk in and,
big,
what's happening? You can't really.
Because they're still making billions, they think they're in profit.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Chisum. So, what is, of course, the questions, the reasons you gave? The answers are already clear. How do we curb or correct this? But I just want you to itemize it and tell our viewers and listeners, small company owners, sole proprietors, sole business owners, intending entrepreneurs, old ones, we all live to learn.
Yeah.
Just let them know how to solve these issues, because we want businesses to spring up and stay.
True.
So we want to have apples. We want to have companies that will stand the test of time. Very true. What do they do to curb this issue?
Yeah, to curb business failure in Nigeria in particular, because we need stable businesses to grow our economy really.
Yeah, true.
So we need more people who understand these things. I would say that first, let us go into business without wanting to impress anyone or trying to be in the trend. You don't get into business because all your friends all have businesses. Now, if you understand that, you will understand where the place of passion and help. Now, no matter how much your business is, and no matter who your market is, whether your market is for the high end
earners
or for the or for the masses. You must first of all understand that your business is solving a problem.
Yeah.
The profit you make is a trust that society has given you to do even more. So it's not like you make your first profit, because it's that mindset of everybody doing business I want to also be, that will make you your first profit, you dash off to buy a car. Because they need to know that I'm a CEO.
Yeah,
now.
I'm doing well.
You know, and
you're
then
sponsoring posts everywhere when they're not yielding results.
You start dipping your hand into the profit of, you don't understand that your business is different from you. You know, so you need to stop that. I mean, if except you're there to,
except you're just a money launderer, yes,
yes,
just putting up appearance.
But trust me, it will still not last. People see through these things these days.
Yeah.
You know, so at the point you're registering a company, even at that point you're getting that certification, it's a different entity. True. There are responsibilities, there are taxes to pay, there are things to do. Get yourself an accountant from day one. Put yourself accountable. Pay yourself a salary or an allowance if you make profit. If you don't, remember you pay yourself last at the end of the day.
True,
and maybe sometimes never.
Never.
For a while. You know, for a while.
I've experienced that a lot.
You know, but so it means you must delay gratification. Learn the things you need to
enjoy
later.
Yeah,
enjoy later. You know, start this business and give it your all. And in fact, we need to start doing businesses that we can run for some years and we can even sell it, or we can give it away. You know, and it will still be running, and we are still lounging. I have a mentor. You know, he ran his business for just 7 years in an industry that he has been in for 20 years, working for other people. He started his own after 7 years. Just one day at the airport, he called his operation manager and just said, "Kneel down and take." He just said, "Kneel down. I'm blessing you. Take over this company." And this guy is lounging now, doing youth empowerment from the monies. He said he made 4 billion naira consistently for 4 years. He said, "No, I said to give up this thing." So he sits as the chairman, non-executive. That's how to run business. 7 years.
That can only be possible when you have a clear-cut structure, system.
How does he even know that he made profit? Some people don't even know. They don't even know how to calculate the net.
Yes, true. They just calculate.
How do you really know you are afloat?
True.
You know, so it's one thing to start business. It's another thing to understand that it's a life of its own. It's supposed to transcend generations. People are supposed to come back and thank you for starting it.
Wow.
You know, so delayed gratification. I think all that. Then of course, you can't be in business and not want to learn. I also see that a lot. That's why people are in business, but they don't want to learn. They don't search in it. Some people tell you, "I'm not really an online person." I'm like, really?
And we live in a time and age when you don't necessarily need to go to school to learn.
Exactly.
Use your...
Exactly. You know, I was telling somebody the other day, everyone said, "Oh, what did you study? What was it?" I'm like, if I tell you what I studied, I mean, that would be talking about myself 13 years ago.
See,
I've upgraded more than that.
See,
you know, so for me to say I studied English, I had a 2-1.
Doesn't make sense.
I still don't have a 2-1. I have gone beyond.
True.
You can't be graded.
True.
You know, so it's like not one thing. It's like say you want to do this and deny yourself the pleasure behind doing this. You must learn on the go. There's no business you're going to do or you're doing that nobody else in the world is doing. In fact, if it's not existing, run away. It means it won't work.
Sure.
So they look at people who do it. I blog, for instance, bloggers who are, especially one. Her name is Kate. She's in the US. She has never even met me.
Okay.
She gave me the things in my head. When I go back, she's about doing it or she has done it. I'm like, this is the blogger to follow.
Yeah.
So when
always ahead, always on the go.
Do you know, for everything I've done, when I started that training bloggers from the little knowledge I had 2013, I went. She had started her business blogging, whatever. I was like, wow. I have a research company also called the Login Bloggers Africa. Now, you understand, because we do PR networking, we have conferences and the rest. Then we help people to earn, remove this AdSense.
Yes, because
from their brain.
Devastating a lot of people.
Exactly, and show them opportunities. You know, and then I couldn't have done or known her if I wasn't reading. If I wasn't reading in my sphere. If I wasn't digging, who else is doing what I'm doing? And they keep changing every day. You see,
so that's
people.
Another factor.
Yeah.
For you to succeed as a startup, you must have mentors. You must have people who have started before you, who are doing well.
You must see live people who you want to be like. You're going
you.
there. You must go there and serve them.
Thank you.
Being mentored is service.
Yes, true.
You must go and even if the person has rubbish in call, take the person's rubbish. You know where you're going to.
Yeah.
Because mentorship helps you not to sweat. What somebody has gone through building.
Yes.
The person just gives you
like my sister would
like
say. My sister, she's always saying something. I don't need to experience what others have experienced.
Exactly.
I should learn from
You come with your children there and you go. You know, I was in a meeting where there's this guy Wale Jana that does that he's a perfume thing. He just understood it. You know, oh, how do they get this thing? Oh, you do it and stuff. And then he spoke to somebody who helped him, who now said, okay, don't worry, I'll talk to somebody in Dubai to help you sell it. So he landed Dubai the first time he went like a king, because his mentor just said go, and he made sure somebody was waiting for him at the airport. Big team.
Things became a lot easier.
Imagine you don't have a mentor. You first of all think of gathering the money to go to Dubai.
Impede us or stop us from having mentors who could have made our journey easier. It's pride.
We are proud, exactly. We are proud.
Bloated ego.
In this part of the world, we are so proud. It's crazy. You're poor. You're proud. You are empty. He's double this.
It was nice having you on the show, Chisum.
Thank you.
I wish we could talk more.
Thank you.
Talk more.
I have
this is a 30-minute show. I will definitely bring you back, and I'm planning an event for entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And man, you must be one of my facilitators. It was nice having you on the show.
Thank you, Oma. Good to be here. Thank you.
Okay, I've been talking to Jenny Chisom, and I'll be right back after the break. Wow! One of the perks of being a TV talk show host is you tend to pick information, you tend to learn for free. My goodness, Chisum Jenny has taught me a whole lot. I am sure you picked one or two things from listening to her. We promise to bring you everything entrepreneurship based, and it is piping hot. Forget it, it's not the heat in the studio, it is really piping hot. Be sure to pick your lessons. Some of the things she told us, some of the reasons, I'm going to add mine. Before you enter into business, please try to gain enough knowledge about that sector. Learn the business angle. Being talented is not enough. Being hardworking is not enough. You need to be mentally equipped to go into business. Number two, please have a structure. Please, I'm begging you, have a structure. Have a system. Organize your entity. It doesn't matter if you have just one staff or two staff. Let there be a structure. Number three, please have goals. You don't just wake up and start a business, no plan, no goals. You don't know where you're headed. You don't know what it is you expect tomorrow. How do you measure success? How do you know you are failing? Number four, do not make the mistake of combining your personal money with business money. Sometimes we just want to put up appearances. We are more concerned with CEO titles that we fail to realize that we are not actually doing well. You keep on working, collecting from your savings, putting into a business that's not moving. You will pack up. It's best you listen to people. It's best you learn from those who have been there before you. That's number four. I take you down to number five. Please, your employees, your workforce are one of the major things you need to sort out before you start full business operations. A tree cannot make a forest. Therefore, no matter how gifted, how hardworking you are as a boss, you cannot thrive alone. Try to get that aspect of workforce, team, a great team sorted out. That way, you can be sure of a certain level of success. Number six, if it's a business where you started with a partner, please try to avoid conflict. That is why from the onset, you should make sure that a system is formulated and you have a clear-cut structure. Number seven, avoid the comfort zone. This has put a lot of people in problems. You are just used to doing one thing. This is your wow factor, fine. This is the thing that makes you different. Yes, but nothing says you must be stuck in doing them. Constantly try to improve your company, improve your business, all right? Do things that would attract people. Do not copy, but please be on top of your game. Number eight, no business can thrive without marketing. This is a major challenge for most businesses. I tell you something, If you hate marketing, please remain an employee. Or if you want to be an entrepreneur, be sure you have a great marketing team, because no business, no matter how basic your service is, no matter how much needed it is, be it food, you need strong marketers, because you always have competitors. Number 9, please do not be a copycat entrepreneur. Have a niche. Let there be something that sells you. Okay, what is it about Omaliving show? She's basically about inspiration. I will not wake up tomorrow to start doing a gossip show, because it is not me. Please have a purpose. Do not be a copycat entrepreneur. That is number 9. Now I take you to number 10. Please be patient, tenacious, and resilient. It will help your business grow. Do not pack up on the first confrontation you have with challenges or major hurdles. These are the major reasons why startups fail. I know that I want your business to grow. I know that you want it to grow even more than I do. So please pick these lessons and put them into practice. And Omaliving Show will be glad you've watched this episode. Don't forget to get us feedbacks. I love you all. Bye-bye.